Hey there, good day everyone. So I'm here again. I'm here again to show you the my hotkeys or the hotkeys that I use in Starcraft. So first of all, let's setting up my hotkeys. So let's say this is a standard hotkeys only. What I usually do is there are two ways to set up your hotkeys. So for my larva, we already have the standard here. For the drone, also standard. Mostly I use standard, but here I usually use the explode is Q, and this will be and this will be Q. I usually all my spells or the skills of my units in Zerg is I usually make it QWE. So for the roaches, I just make it V. I don't. For this one, I use Q. Okay, so that's E, but here I think I use here. If I'm not mistaken, that is it's W. And this is E. That is what I use. And then for here, that will be Q, E, and QWER. Mutas don't have any skills. This is still Q, and this is always W. This is also Q. For the infestor, this is Q. Fungal growth is W. This is E. For the overlord, this is Q. This is W, and this is E. Okay. So for this one, I think this is kind of different, but I think the oversight must be. No, no, no. Changeling is Q because this is my standard hotkeys because the oversight skill is just a new ability for the overseer. So before my changeling is originally Q, so that's why this is originally Q, and this is a new skill which is W. And this is E for the contaminate and R. For my queens, my inject larva is Z because I'll explain it later. And my cryptomer is Q, and my transfuse is E. And for the buildings, it's still the same. This is E for me, and this is W. W. Again, for the upgrades, the upper left corner will be Q and W, and if there's another one, that will be E, and so on. So again, this is W. No, this is Q, W, and E. So setting up your hotkeys like this, therefore you can just focus all your keys in just one part of the keyboard, which is the most left side. So you can be able to press it freely or easily. So this is Q and W, and remarkable shroud is E. And this is E, this is W, and this will be E. The same, my Nagios network is Q, upgrades are Q again, and this is W, and my cryptomores are also Q. Okay, so going to the global. So for the global, I usually, one of the hotkeys that uh, all of the players use, even pro gamers, so I don't think that there's any pro gamer that doesn't use this, is the camera location hotkeys. So what I do here, what I usually do, my create location 1 is control F1, my create location 2 is control, no, sorry, is shift F2 and shift F1. For the create location 3 is shift F3, and this is shift F4, but I don't usually use F4. So in order for me to jump into this location, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. I think that's it. No. For the base camera, I change the backspace into space. Okay. Okay. So I can just add another one. Add alternate. Okay. I think that's all for what else? I think for the unit management. So as you can see, if you didn't do anything in your hotkeys, originally your select army or your all army hotkeys is your F2. But remember that we already unbind it and change it into calling your location 2. So what I do is my hotkey for the all army hotkey is the key beside number 1 in your keyboard. So I really don't know what that's called, but anyways, that is the key beside number 1. Okay. And then this is one of the important and really useful is this is what we call the rapid fire. Okay, so all you have to do is for me that is Q. Okay, so that is Q. I think that's it. Let's see, yeah, so that's fine. So that is how I use my how I set up my hotkeys. Okay, so let's try out those hotkeys. Um, so I didn't save the profile because I already have that one. So let's just go to this one, the LOTV unit tester. This is where you can test your units, or you can test your micro here, or what else. Okay, so let's just create a game and start game. It's really useful. I always use this when I'm trying out army composition against a specific army composition. So let's say the Terran made Thors, Siege Tank, and some Cyclones or Anhelions, or maybe something like that. So I have no idea how to counter that. So what I do is I jump into this map and I'll try different army composition. Well, what army composition I must use against that. Okay, so let's try the terrain to be filled. So we have an open area. And let's try Zerg. Okay, so first let's try the rapid fire. Okay, so rapid fire, let's make, all you have to do is shift. Okay, okay. So for the rapid fire, what so for the rapid fire, if you're not using the rapid fire, the choose ability or AI target, is what will happen is you can just do this, right? That's what you do. However, if you have a rapid fire, this is very useful. What you can do is, as you can see for the programmers, they use the vials, the corrosive vials really fast because they have the rapid fire. This is what you can do. That's really good. So what you actually do is select all your Ravagers, and then after clicking Q, just hold down Q and then move your mouse around. Just hold Q, no more shift, no more control or whatever. Just hold Q and then move your mouse around. So as you can see, I will just move my around, and that's it. Okay, so let's get back to this. So getting back to this one, so my unit management, my specific rapid fire button is Q because I made it Q. But if you want to make it W, E, or what, you can also change it into that. Okay, so that is for Zerg. Okay, so for Zerg, I think this is also useful for queens. Yeah, for queens. Okay, so for queens, let's say let's have some creep. Okay, therefore, so I want to make tumors here. So what I do is, again, that's W, hold on the Q. Sorry, that's Q, hold on Q, and then, as you
That's a
can see.
negatory. It's blocked.
Okay. So that's how fast can you do it.
That's a negatory.
See?
It's blocked.
It's really good and
That's a
really easy to
negatory.
use.
It's blocked.
What else?
That's a negatory.
There's no more infested Terran now, so I cannot use that anymore. And I think that's it. So let's go to Protoss. Okay, let's try to. So for the Protoss, let's say warping zealots for the gateway. Let's change this into Q. Okay, so there we go. And then also for Terran, I think. Mm-hmm. I think this is we can also change it into Q. There you go. Okay, so let's make a Protoss. Oh, no. Hmm. Okay, so I think there's a probe here, right? Okay, there is a probe here. Okay, so let's build pylons. Okay, there you go. So we have multiple pylons. Let's build some.
You must place that.
Okay, now we have multiple gateways. So the Protoss can also use this into warping fast. So what you can do here is this is Q
My life
up.
for hire.
Nope. Where's the research? We have to make the research upgrades. There you go. Okay, so warping is velox. You can also use this. I think. Yeah, that's right. You can use that. So that's really, really
My light.
fast. See? Okay, so can we reset this? Yeah. So you can also use that. Okay, so for Terran, I think you can use this in your Liberators, if I'm not mistaken. Okay,
Incoming orders.
so I think you can use
Easy.
this.
Finish.
Okay, there you go. You can also use that. So what again? What I'm just you doing is holding down the button Q, and then I'm moving my mouse around where I want it to defend, or for the zealots where I want it to be warp in. So that is the hotkeys that I use. So there's another way for the hotkeys for your hotkeys is um if you want, I think there's a grid setup. Where's the grid setup? Oh, this one. So this is the grid setup. Some players also use this. Is what will happen is the QWER, so whatever button that is there in Q and W, that will always be in all your, that will be your standard in all your units. So for example, that is if you I am using Q grid, therefore, okay, so let's make a zergling. As you can see, okay, nope. Okay, so let's make a zergling, let's say Muta, a corruptor, a lurker, and whatever. Okay, so we have different units. As you can see, all of the units we are using grid setup. So this is QWERs. As you can see again here, we are using grid. So every this will be your standard. So any command, whatever command is in this, that will be your QWER. So that will be your standard. This is your B, V, C, X, etc. So as you can see, this is Z. So whatever unit I have, there will be Z. Okay, we don't have it. That is also Z, and that is also Z. So this will be X, so this will be also X, and so on. If you have a drone here, that is also X, that is Z. Okay. So again, that's QWAS. So again, the one of the programmers also use is the mostly used is the rapid fire, and that will be a very helpful hotkey that you can use in order for you to be better in microwing. So I think that's all for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.